Don't you just love the baby bear on the mama bear's back? I love that. So we have to always end it with that. Welcome, everyone. You may be somebody who's been with us here before. This might be the first time you're watching us. Wherever in the world you are, a warm, heartfelt welcome. My name is Sandra Champlain. If we haven't met yet, I am the host of 2 podcasts on the afterlife and living life, shall we say. Also the author of the book, We Don't Die, A Skeptic's Discovery of Life After Death. And for going on a year and a couple of months, Scott and I, and often Darren, have joined together with our friends in the unseen world and our friends via Zoom and YouTube and Facebook and all kinds of technologies to really provide something a little bit different. I met Scott almost 5 years ago and was introduced to a couple kinds of mediumship I didn't even know existed: physical mediumship and trance mediumship. And we get an opportunity on Fridays, always as an experiment, to allow our friends in the unseen world, if they'd like to speak. When was it? I think at the beginning of May, we added the addition of healing, sitting for healing, which Scott will tell you a little bit about. So I'm going to turn it over to Scott for his welcome to you and just a little bit about what it is we do here on our Fridays, and then we can get started.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And thank you, Sandra, for being the facilitator of this, what I hope is our way of sweeping the streets clear for our friends to walk. Throughout my mediumistic awareness for over 24 years, I have been passionate about sitting and losing self in the experience, losing my devil's side of control and allowing the spirit world to walk softly by our side, and trying to share with as many people as possible a subject that I have fallen deeply in love with. And I will never walk away from that, because it is what my soul has given to me for this opportunity. And so we are going, hopefully, on the journey today where we can go into our power, but also share a thought where healing is concerned. And if there are people who are in need at this moment, then use this time to be like a freshly squeezed sponge and absorb it. If there's people that you love who are in need, keep them close within your mind, as the unseen world will be listening and watching. And if there are people in the world that are strangers to us, that you would like to send them some strength, because you may have seen something devastating on the news or devastating on the internet, and your heart goes out to them, we can use this opportunity to give that person that strength so that they can learn to smile again. On Friday nights, since we have learned about Corona, Sandra has allowed me to have the opportunity to flex my mediumistic muscles so that I don't become rusty, and sitting and allowing our friends who are very close by an opportunity to share my interpretation of what trance is. Now, I say my interpretation, everyone has different opinions about things. And if we were to sit in a circle, you and I was to place an object down, and I would ask you to say what you see, and then you ask me, what do I see? We may see the truth from different angles, but who is right and who is wrong? I leave that in your hands. So tonight, we are going to kind of move like the seasons, from like spring into summer, summer into autumn, and not have a break in between. I would like you to become comfortable and allow my voice to kind of send you into a place of rest, so that the spirit world are able to do their duty. Whilst we are in that place of rest, after whatever time may pass, then a voice may come in a very natural manner to try and still a piece of your love, and hopefully give us help and support on certain thoughts that may be weighing so heavily upon our minds. My friend in the unseen world has always said there are no answers. There are only questions that will lead to a greater question, like a step will always lead to a greater step. So we're constantly learning, you and I. So on this day, if you're watching this live now, let whatever words are meant to be shared seep deep within your bones. And those who are watching this in the future, maybe when I'm long gone and I'm now putting the kettle on in the spirit world, waiting for your arrival, getting the drinks in, use this time to soak up the atmosphere, and hopefully you'll carry the light further than mine and Sandra's reach, so we continue to bring joy to this world. So if it's okay with you, instead of boring you with what this is or what that is, let's do what the old spiritualists used to do and expect nothing, and just go, here we are, and let's begin. So I'm going to cough heavily just for a minute, because I've been trying to subdue a cough. So I'm just going to explode, and hopefully then the music will then come in and we will move swiftly into it. Okay. Oh, that was pathetic. I was expecting something more dramatic. So just for this moment, if this is new to you or not, just allow the words and the music to meet you. Like the waves upon a shore meets the golden sands, in harmony and in peace. And if you are able, and if you wish, close your eyes and allow the voice to soothe every part of your being. As you breathe the breath of life, the shoulders rise and fall. As you breathe the breath of life, another layer of peace begins to butter your mind. As you breathe the breath of peace, your body begins to relax. This body that has carried you from the moment of your birth to this moment of your life. It has felt the drops of rain and the warm, gentle kiss of that summer's breeze. How this body, that it is borrowed from the earth and lives in the hands of time, how it has become a miracle, and how at this moment we take the opportunity to honor how at times our body may cause uncomfortable and pain, and reminds us that sometimes we must walk a little softer. And how a simple drop of rain that falls can wash away the imperfections and can move away the dust of the day. And as the breath of life comes and goes, our thoughts reach out to those who have walked softly into our hearts and left their mark upon our being. How we are blessed to call them friend, or how we are blessed to share the same blood. As they warm themselves from the thoughts you share, they too feel the love. And like the ripples of the pond, the thoughts go out further to a stranger, or to a name that is known but your hands have not met. Giving them good thoughts so that they can take a breath of peace and clarity of mind. How at this perfect moment our thoughts may move down into the earth or high within the skies above us. They too come in harmony. The gentle link of thought and the drop of your love. For if the earth is strong, those who stand upon it will feel its strength. If the sky above is clear, the air that we all breathe, we all share, will be good for our being. As we share the air, we share the earth. For all life are links in the chain of existence, a chain that you and I can hold, or at times we can break. Today we hold as the love from your soul speaks to all life, all love, and all peace. For the animals that may enrich our lives or ignite the curiosity of mind, they too can share the warmth. but they may need the guiding thoughts so that they can walk free in all countries of this world. So as these thoughts begin to cushion your mind, soften your being, where else does your mind take you? Where I cannot follow. Go in this moment of peace as silence becomes your world. Love becomes your guide, and hope becomes your strength. Just for this time, fade as the stars of old, the birth of the morning sun. So much has been and gone and misunderstood through the passing of your time. Many rivers of tears have fallen, the misunderstanding of the mortal death. Seeds may fall from the most beautiful flower, only to rise again in a different time. Your precious ones who you love so much have been freed by the hands of pain. For in our world, there is no war. There is no misunderstanding of conflict. There is only love and a deeper acceptance to what could be a quarrel can now be a conversation. For in our world is the truth that no one and nothing can ever be lost. No one and nothing can be ever truly alone. For in our world, we know of all life. Like the drops of rain that come together to transform into something greater. In our world, there is no disease, not physical disease or malice disease, when one does not agree. The physical body is fragile. The physical body is merely the coat and the garment that the soul will wear and outgrow. Many of you at this time may find the days tiresome. You may find this moment of year too much, but behind you, standing as strong as the mountain, is the force of our world. For you have come only to return. For in your world, you have the opportunity for enriched experience that brings you peace and understanding at time, or provoke you to continue to search for a greater answer. For what you learn in this existence is merely the start of the story of your life. When I look back over my shoulder to see your time of year, so many years have passed, but still it only fills a breath. For if I am to ask you all, how quickly have you grown? You won't remember all the days of your life, but you know how quickly the days of your life has trickled through your fingers like sand. Many of you hold deep within your being happiness of memory when your family may be more than it was and is now. For the light of your loved ones seem to be extinguished physically, for they are snubbed within your world but they shine bright within our reality. Where is our world to yours? It is all around you. You are the proof of our existence. For you to hear these words and join in the experience, something has ignited. The soul itself carries a candle. Through the darkness of confusion, fear and doubt, the soul becomes free to express itself in a mediumistic capability which could be shared with those who may be weary. So many people in your world have misspoken our truth, misunderstood our teachings that were given, and now shape and twist and buckle to suit their needs, instead of allowing our thoughts to quench the thirst of all. Do we abandon these individuals? We do not. Do we try to remove distractions? Then we do. But sadly, the eyes of the beholder must be open for them to realize the gifts that have been bestowed upon them are gifts to be shared. For in their hands they have been given the opportunity to write a story that can benefit so much. For if the story is short but truthful, it may have the strongest moment of someone realizing that those who they have loved and the hand now physically falls cold, but the soul is transformed into the spirit that can never become cold, never become lonely, but will outstretch itself to humanity, for the arms to be strong to hold you in the most darkest of your experiences. Our world hears the cries and feels your pain, and that is why we are motivated. We make this promise to all of you, that our world will always have the door open for you all, no matter what religion you hold, no matter what path you have walked, no matter what has happened. We will always be there. We are not the shadow. We are not the spectre. We're not the phantom. We are merely individuals that have walked and lived and now live beyond death. Death is the stream that all of us will cross. For when you are born, you died from our world to live within this world of beauty, to help the world through its change, and to fall in love and to be romanced. And indeed, leave a footprint for people to stand and say, this is where they stood, and look what they have done for this world. So, for all of you, try wherever possible not to abandon those who walk with you, those who walk against you, and those who walk away. For one day you will stand in the golden shores of our reality, and we want you to have no regrets. For if you are to stick your hand in friendship, it is up to another to do the same or close their fist. But they themselves have made that choice, and you have only shared to give them love. What more can we share with you to prove to you this day that love will never die? Love only transforms. Love only continues to swell when the opportunity for you to share your seeds of kindness into the meadows of others. Sandra, my dear, I trust that you are well.
I'm very well. Thank you, Eric.
If it is so your wish, let us proceed in the usual manner.
Yes, thank you very much. And let me just say to our new friends that are joining us, there is a place that says Q&A. And if you have a question or asking for a topic that Eric can speak on, if you could just type it in that box. But Eric, I'd like to ask a question on behalf of our friend Lorraine.
And I trust that they are well.
Yes. Her question is in regards to the virus and the vaccine. She has a concern that the vaccine will do long-term harm on children and feels a sense of pressure by being told by the government that the children should be vaccinated. Any words or advice?
Well, my friend, I must say this to you, that the situation that has gripped your world is through cause and effect, through a course of action now affects you all. For consumption that was not meant to be, nor to be shared, has now been released from its prison and now is known and touched all corners of your world. For every darkness there is light. This opportunity that we have tried to inspire sensitive minds have created the first steps of containing this beast that has ripped apart your world. But this beast also has given opportunity for many of your world to see what is truly important. For any decision that is made, as long as it is dipped in love, then how can this be a wrong decision? What is being consumed at this moment must be consumed to be digested. And from that digestion, the good medicine will come. Of course, the body will react. Some will react violently, and some will react peacefully. For what I have witnessed with children, children are robust. Children will learn to adapt. Because, my friends, they have been grown in love. We do foresee, for what is being ingested at this moment is not the answer, but merely a solution for the situation at hand. Deeper wisdom must be given. And as I have shared in the past, that the properties that you find below water will bring peace to your world through the color of algae that has been propagated in the correct manner. Sadly, this situation that you have all inherited is the mistakes of others, but you are strong as this moment together to overcome these obstacles. But fear will give food and strength to the beast. Fear can kill more than the actual situation at hand. We ask you to bind together. For if you are to look back in history, there has been many situations that have faced within your world that sadly has come from man's inhumanity to man. But the body becomes resilient. I foresee a time where the heads of your countries will say, you must. It is the only way. It is up to you to choose if you listen or you continue to walk. If you would allow me to go further upon this matter, for those who are of maturity, and I mean no insult to this, but those who are mature in age, look back in your life, how the world has changed, how clinical the world has become. For when you were a child, did you not sink your hands into the earth? Did you not play with dirt under your nails? Did you not sit in the grass and eat without the cleanliness of hand? Did you not swim in rivers, drink from streams? But your bodies became strong. You did not become receptacle to infection because your body has become strong. This virus has been in your world longer than you think, but is reacting differently. It is reacting in a strange manner. For if all of us come together, our world and your world, and started to improve ourselves, then we become stronger together. For many in my world are now surrounding your existence to answer your prayers, because there is worry upon mind. But I say this to you, fear will only breed fear. For if you yourself are prepared, if you feel this is right for your child or for your family member, support it. But like anything, my friend, you can huddle round the fire and it can keep you warm, but one of you can burn yourself so frequently. But if one is to be burnt, then allow our thoughts to be the healing balm and a soothing thought for humanity. If you speak to others of my world who have moved further away, they would say, what would the worst that would happen? But I am close to your world, and this is not the message that I wish to share with you, as my duty is to ensure love and peace of mind, and to keep all of you firmly in the golden shores of your world as long as possible, until your soul chooses to come to our reality. This choice must be yours, for if I say you must obey, it takes away your free will. And of course, it keeps within my consciousness a thought that I must learn from. So I say this to you. Your world at this moment is binding together through not the cure, but a step towards it. But from those who have ingested, men of medicine must look at how the body reacts and how it can heal, and the tonic from that will slowly become the cure. But if man is impatient, then look below the water to the natural, to a bacteria that will fight this bacteria. It will consume and it will outgrow. Many words have been shared with you, and even more confusion may have fallen upon mind. But that is what I wish to share with you upon this matter. If that is pleasing for you, let us move along.
Thank you, Eric. Yes, we have Elizabeth here. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hello.
Hello, my dear. I trust that you are well.
Yes, I am, Eric. Thank you.
Are you okay to ask your question, or would you like me to do it, Elizabeth?
That's okay, Sandra. I can
Okay.
ask. Thank you. The question is, would you be able to explain more about soul plans? I am struggling to understand why my son's soul plan was to die at the age of only 20 years old, and he has left behind such heartache and despair and pain. He had no time to make any life experiences of his own, and this kills me inside.
Yes, of course, my dear. And if you are to ask our dear friend Sandra, she knows my thoughts upon this. But as you have taken the time to still my love, let me give it to you with all the affection of my being. I myself do not support this word, soul contract, soul plan. I do not support it, for why would anyone choose to inflict such pain upon others who they love? Sadly, my friend, throughout life, certain people are born, and through cause and effect, they may come to our side of life. Some people may come to our side of life through the wicked hands of others. Some may be through choices that they have made. They could not face the sunrise. This is a moment that was digested, should I say, but it was not in the maker's mind to have anyone in our side of life. But if it is to become the outcome, we are there. For if they are to fall in your world, they will rise within our reality. But the sad thing is, my friends, if love is there, those who are left behind will feel the pinch of the shadow of love, and that is grief. Certain people in your world may find it hard to answer this question, and they say it was in their soul's lesson. I do not support that. For what happens if the lesson has not been learned? What happens if the lesson has been achieved? It seems to be that someone is stuck in a wheel that doesn't seem to go anywhere. In your world, the soul is at its most vulnerable because the body is fragile. And sadly, things can happen. We have seen this day many children of your world come to our side of life through conditions of blood, condition of bone, And sadly, through conditions of heavy thoughts that played burden, that caused them to pick an opportunity to end their existence here upon earth, and now live within our reality. We will look after them, but we also must extend the deepest love, the deepest strength, the deepest understanding to those who sleep under your stars this night, who are coming to this moment that their world has now changed forever. If the soul has left the physical body, it stands in the golden shores of our world. To your son and to others who are left, the time of separation is just a brief moment, but your world has been a slave to time, and the tick of the clock must continue to echo its haunting sound until it is your turn to join in the celebration of our world. I do wish that more people in your world would have the opportunity to allow our thoughts to move through them, so that we can give clear thoughts upon matter. So we stop this insanity of not giving the right thoughts to a person that needs to hear it. But I will say this to you, my dear, and I say with great confidence, you're not too far away from the sight of your dear one, who may be invisible to you at times, but you are visible to them. And if there are times when you think good thoughts and strength, they weave their thoughts within your mind. If there are times when it becomes too much, their thoughts try to embrace you and to give you the strength to see the day through. And in your dreams that you dream at night, they stand, they share, and they give their love, strong as always. But I have to say to you, in sternness, if I may, certain individuals that have written books should know better. Certain individuals that have been given the privilege should have known better. I have to say to you, and I hope I do not burn my fingers on the fire, that the gifts of the Spirit, shared by the soul, should not be exchanged for the glitter and fancy that only feeds the ego, not feeds the needs that needs to be shared at times. So, my dear, I say this to you. I do not support this thought of contract, but I support the thought that who you love continues to live with strength within our world. And I wish that I was able to lend you my eyes and my ears, my hands and my voice, so that you can see the beauty. Will it help to take you into that moment so you can take a deeper breath in? It gives you an opportunity for the heart not to be so sore. But you realize then that love will always outlive the physical body. So, my dear, I hope I've not been too stern.
No, no, not at all, Eric. That's your words have been very kind, and it's helped me a lot, because the idea of the soul plans, it wasn't helping me. So
No, my
thank you.
friend.
Thank you so much for saying that tonight. Thank you.
I must say this to you, my dear. So many people try to express what is so simple instead of allowing their mind to be used by our world. They start to label and wrap it in pretty paper.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It doesn't help at all.
Yes.
But I will say this to you, my dear. Sleep well tonight. And in your dream, let's pray that you see. And
Thank you.
tomorrow, your eyes will be brighter. Your smile will be bigger.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much.
You are indeed most welcome, my dear. I will never tire of it. Is there something else if you wish to ask of me?
No, that's all just now. Thank you so much.
You will
Thank
stay
you.
very close to my thoughts, my dear.
Thank you.
With your kind permission, let us move along.
Thank you, Eric. And thank you, Elizabeth. We have Shayla. Hello, Shayla.
Hi, hello, everyone. Hi, Eric.
Hello, my dear. I trust that you are well.
I am. Thank you so much for asking. I have, my question is about all the racial conflict in the world right now. It seems to be getting progressively worse rather than better. And I guess my question is, will it ever end, and what is it all about? Can you help me see it from a different point of view?
Of course, my friend, and I will say it will end. Because, my friend, the soul has no color. The soul is light. The soul is not divided by language. So yes, it will find peace eventually, but sadly, some of you must come to our side of life for you to find it. But I will say this to you. I was speaking to consciousness, and I don't think consciousness really heard me. But I said in my lessons, to make me a better communicator, I will be faced with many questions. If God, however you see God to be, could you not make everyone smile the same? Everyone speak the same, so that we will have less conflict, less confusion. But is it not more wiser that many seeds are mixed and grow differently, but mankind to become more accepting that each of you have the right to live? Thankfully, my dear, how much has changed in such a short period of time. But I have to say to you, how much scars have been made in such a short period of time. In our time upon earth, I remember being close to the docks and seeing ships from America, seeing people come speaking differently, looking differently. But it caused such talk. It stimulated great conversations. We learned so much. We exchanged so much. But still, if the devil's brew was part of it, there was still division. In your time upon earth, my friends, if you are to be the change, start with self. And then other people will be curious. Why do you act like that? and gently you can share. And if they wish to adopt it, then so be it. Your children that are born today are being born in a time where people are more accepting. You're not there yet, but you're stepping closer to it. I believe, my friend, that false religion plays much disagreements that causes war. If religion causes you to slam the door upon your neighbor's face, it is not a religion, it is a dictation. The true words that was given by God, however you see God to be, that thy shall not still, meaning God himself will not still. It was not a commandment, it was a commitment. But men who were misunderstanding, but also wishing to bully others, said, this is his commandment, and therefore I am doing right and you are doing wrong. If religion can bind together, then that is a mighty step forward. And then those who may smile differently, instead of people turning and pointing, they turn and smile with them. Those who I've had disagreements of the past are now my closest confidants within my reality. So it shows you even someone who saw the world differently now sees a place of peace. No one's too old to change their ways. I will see a time when it becomes peaceful, but sadly it may be when they play in the golden shores of our world. A friend of mine once said, if you are confronted, you must be prepared to give your life, but never at the expense of another life. Listen to those words. I will not take another life, but I will give my life. Give your life to what if the cause has no outcome? Then truly, can you give your life in service? No, you cannot. But I say this to you. In your time now, at this very moment, there is a power around your world called negativity. It knows its days are numbered. It is a horse that is being backed into a corner. This horse will kick. It will jump back. It will become more ferocious before it becomes tamed and consumed. Your world will see another thrust of negativity. But it is how you retaliate or respond to it. If you pay it no attention, it will have its tantrum, and then it will become silent. But if you fight fire with fire, it will be a greater fire, and that will burn many. It is hard to retaliate what your nature wants it to do. Let your heart guide you. And say, I will feed this beast love. Because what it consumes, what it intakes will be digested and will become a spark within its consciousness, and change will be there. Sadly, my friends, there is a stain in history that seems to repeat itself. So let's work together to rub out the stain of people's misunderstandings and become at peace. My companion, my dear friend Morning Star, his own grandson was taken by a white man. He chooses to walk with the one we love, not judged by color or creed or sexuality. My friend Morning Star loves the child and will always stand with him until their journey comes to its benign end. But what it represents, he holds no malice within his being. Sometimes, my friend, it takes an elder to grab two people and bash their heads together and say, now you hurt the same. Now you have the same mark. Sit there and make each other better. You may sit in silence, but if you sit in silence, the minutes will turn to hours. But if you speak, the minutes will feel like seconds. You decide. Maybe that may not be the right medicine, but it is something that will be fascinating to see. Is that pleasing for you, my dear?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really my soul needed to hear that.
I'm only reminding you what you already know. With your kind permission, let us move along.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Eric, I'd like to read the next question by a friend that we have here.
I trust that they are well.
Yes, thank you. The question is, Eric, do we take problems of addiction with us to the afterlife if we don't deal with those issues here on this side of the veil? There seems to be a strong spiritual component to issues such as substance abuse.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, I must say to you this, the addiction is with the physical body, because what it ingests then releases chemicals that brings pleasure to it or causes it to destroy itself. You will bring the memory with you. It is a memory if you wish to carry, or you may disregard. Because, my friend, if someone is crippled with addiction, and when we look at this word addiction, many of us think straight away of what can be ingested, but love can be addiction. Fascination can be addiction. But if you are talking about substance that can be ingested, that destroys the lives of other people around them, then let us keep upon this topic. If it is the body that has fallen in love with this chemical, that brings the soul an experience, then it will continue until the mortal death. Sometimes people are strong enough to be taken away from that environment so that they know what it was before they knew of that product. The soul has come to the earth to find identity, but to experience emotion in all capacity. Along the way, as we have said numerous times, that the young man the one we use, seems to take a fancy with the devil's brew, alcohol that I myself was told it was against my religious understandings. For I myself in prayer, and of course doing my communion, and of course my duty, would find the Holy Spirit. My faith was the addiction that caused me to become twisted and bitter against other people that may choose a different path. But have I not already shown that I myself have changed my way? Many people that come to our side of life that had burden, the weight of burden is removed from them. But if they wish and motivate themselves to be a guiding thought to someone here upon earth that may be following in footsteps, then they themselves will try to inspire and to intervene. Many civilizations have used natural remedies to commune with the so-called dead, moving away from control to lose control. These individuals have gained this knowledge that has been passed from generation to generation, and therefore their bodies will react in a most perfect manner. But then others have chosen to try to ingest what the body itself cannot hold, and therefore their reaction will be different. Will it make them more spiritual? Well, only you can decide. Does it make them more alien to their kinship? Then yes, it does. It is a terrible thing, you know, when you see someone who you care for begin to fade from view. Even though they physically stand there, you can see that the light of who they are is slowly leaving them, leaving the physical body as they begin to walk between the two worlds. And then all of a sudden, they find both feet in our reality. Once again, those in my world who are more confident, more capable, more understanding, will be called to service, as we are called to then give healing and love to those who are left behind. You will see within your modern world that those things will become more readily available due to the poison of the very thing that is allowing my words to be carried to your residence. We have also seen the addiction of young minds to technology that also begins to poison, allows the body to not move so fluid, that causes then the joints to seize, the bones to weaken, the organs to become heavy. So in some way, it is a fine knife that will cut through. Your world has become dependent upon this modern technology, and we within the world that awaits you are using the very thing for our world to continue to talk with you. The younger minds of your world are falling more dependent upon this technology. Through the devil's box of your televisions, show how accessible it is, how glitter and glam, that everyone must have it. Surely it is better to have someone without it and say, I am not following the herd. I being my own person. But then again, some people may find it very peculiar and will go against the words that I shared in my last inquiry. We should all learn to love one another. But my friends, everyone must make a choice. It is up to you if you wish, but you will not carry it within our reality. You'll carry the knowledge that will benefit the minds of many. But what is not important will fade away, and you'll never hear or speak of it again. Is that pleasing for you?
Yes, Eric, thank you.
As time is against me.
It is. Okay,
Let us take one more inquiry.
we have Elaine. Let's see if we can hear her voice. Well, I will ask the question on her
I
behalf.
trust that they are well.
Yes, thank you. She asks, what can you do to help someone who is lost and has depression and has tried suicide several times?
Well, my friend, we must look upon this matter with two hands, one being our hand and one being your hand. Within your hands, you have the capability to reach out to the individual and become a nuisance to them, but a nuisance in a way, in love and respect, and say, I am here for you. Individuals of today may be determined to do things to their bodies. It is how you react to it will help them upon this matter. Of course, if you are then to look into our hands, those who are finding it difficult, we are constantly there. Sadly, sometimes the fog around them is hard for them to see our warmth and our love. But isn't it when the sun sets and darkness creeps across the land, you see the stars that have always been there, shining, guiding, and saying to you, no matter how dark it is, we will never abandon you. Your modern medicine is starting to open and investigate different opportunities to bring happiness to others, not being made with people with white coats and white buildings, but starting to use animals as interactions. Young animals that are born can bring light into someone's world. We have seen on numerous occasions, anything with 4 legs and 2 legs brings a smile to many people. No matter if they have horns or teeth, feathers or hairless, it seems to bring a smile to one's face who may be finding it difficult. Through the situation that has faced your world, many people have said, I have time on my hands, and therefore I will adopt. And now they don't seem to have the time. They sometimes say we must abandon. These dear ones that people have fallen into love and out of love needs a smile from those who seem to find it difficult at times. If you get this individual to one of these centers and let them walk through and look after, it will give them the motivation to see the next day and bring happiness. And if they are finding it too sad to smile, then sit in the pen with them and see if the animal walks over and shares its affection. It knows how they feel, and they will respond to it. Then the body will not become so dependent upon chemicals that may not be of benefit to bring in the natural balance of dopamine within the brain. I know myself was not fond of these animals when I walked upon the earth, but I have seen the benefit through a much more gentle eyes. So quickly, if I say, if you cannot find a suitable suggestion that brings them smiles, then load them into your motor vehicles and travel to the nearest hostel and say to those who volunteer, can we spend just an hour in your world and see how people react? Smile is the best medicine, along with happiness. If one carries scars that may be self-inflicted or inflicted by others, the animal will see and will want to know, how could someone be so cruel when they see only someone full of love? Sandra, my dear, is that pleasing for you?
Yes, thank you, Eric.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Eric and Sandra.
You are indeed most welcome, my dear.
Thank you.
Is it someone close to you?
My daughter.
Then my suggestion is still remains strong. Because, my friend, these innocent minds don't need to talk. They just need to sit. And by the gentle touch, a smile may return.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Because remember, my friend, you can walk away, but you could also return. These are
Okay.
the steps that I offered to you.
Thank you.
You are indeed most welcome, my friend. And of course, you and your dear one and your family will stay close to my mind in thoughts and in my own prayer.
Thank you.
Within
I
your
appreciate
world,
it.
my friends, there is darkness, but there is also light. Walk your path and walk it with the share of voices of others. My world needs you. Never give up on your unfoldment, your development, your understanding. If it is your will this night that you rest your head and your hearts feel sore because someone who you love cannot be seen, think of them. Keep them alive within your mind. It is the fragrance that we smell, the warmth which we feel, and we draw close and lay with you and watch you sleep. We have said the greatest lie in your world is death, as there is no death. We're only dead when you forget us. You'll never forget. But as the days pass and roll, you step towards our world. One day you'll cross that stream and you will never look back. And if you have a moment in my world, please sit with me. Let us share in conversations freely and not using another mind. So, my friends, walk into the rain of your world, walk into the heat of your world, walk into the snow of your world, and treat it like the first experience, and remember the joys of life. Good day to you, my friends.
Good day, Eric. Thank you very much. Thank you, Scott. And as we're waiting for Scott to become fully aware and with it to join us, I just wanted to let everyone know that we had several dozen questions in that Q&A box, and there was no way to get to all. And just in the last moment, there was a couple of messages, questions that came through that we don't have time to address. But I want you to know that our loved ones are whole, healthy, happy, in full health when they transition to the other side, when they migrate over there. They continue to be our champions, cheering us on as we walk this life. Grief is the worst thing that we human beings can experience. And Scott and I both, on the foundation of everything we do, is to help those grieving. It's something we can't fast forward. There's no magic pill to get out of it. It's very, very difficult. We have on resources at the main website, which is wedon'tdie.com, my audiobook and my book, We Don't Die, A Skeptic's Discovery of Life After Death. And chapter 10 is How to Survive Grief. And if you'd like a copy of it for free, you can have it. Just use coupon code FREE, F-R-E-E. There's also probably over 50 recordings we have of past sessions with questions and answers with Eric. Let your soul be your guide. Again, use that code FREE and listen. I wish I could give you everything that I have learned and experienced over the past almost 25 years and have you know for sure that your loved ones are still around. I can't do that, but stick close to us. Use everything we've got as our gift so that you know your loved ones are still around. Keep talking to them, have your favorite picture of them nearby, and they'll do everything they can to let you know they are with you. On Sundays, we have our free Sunday gathering, which this weekend, it's Independence Day here in America, 4th of July. And we are celebrating freedom, not just freedom, what we experience, but the freedom in our minds and what we can do starting right up here. Also on Monday, we start our 4-week July classes with Scott. And you may not wish to be a trance medium like he is, and it takes years to do that. But by nature of being in the class, it really does help quiet the mind and feel the presence of that love that surrounds us in that unseen world. So again, our home base is wedon'tdie.com. And if you'd like to email me, if you have some real pain and just need somebody to talk to, my email is sandrachamplain@gmail.com. So I'd like to turn it over to you, Mr. Milligan.
Hello. And strange as Sandra was talking there, I was very much aware of my father. And many years ago, my dad didn't accept what I did. And he said it was a load of nonsense. But then he slowly started to come around. And then my family experienced the most deepest grief of having him taken. And I use the word taken because I believe through the actions of others that his life came to the end that day. He would have lived longer if these people didn't interrupt our evening. And I fell out of love with the spirit world. And grief is a nasty beast. I was going to say something stronger then, but it was a nasty beast. And I sat, and out of nowhere, a voice shouted out, "I'm not dead. I'm not dead." And it felt like my dad. And through the passing of time, you never get over it, but you learn to live with it. And I felt his presence there. And now he's more alive and he's more involved in all of this. So he's become a non-believer to a believer to a knower. He knows that there is an existence. And I've said to him that this world doesn't understand grief and it's the most painful thing. And he said to me that my love is endless. My faith in you is endless. And the faith in everyone's loved ones, we are there for you all. Just take one step at a time. But no matter what happens in life, I'm there. And as Sandra was speaking, I was just aware of my father. And he just kind of nudged me and called me numbnuts. And it showed that his sense of humor and his personality, and he's trying to make me laugh and say, stop being so serious and just do your job. So those who are feeling that awful serpent of grief, I've been there, I'm still there. Just take it step by step, talk to people, talk to organizations and reach out, because one thing I learned, I didn't want to talk about it and it started to consume me. You've got to find the strength, even if it's just shouting and screaming, it's a step. But thank you for supporting my work, supporting the We Don't Die monster machine. And if you want to talk, talk. If you want to smile, smile. That's what I'm saying. But I can't leave you sad. So if you need picking up, let me give you a lap dance and let me be silly and let me be stupid and just make you happy again. I don't know if that's a good thing to end on or not, or as an image that's now burnt into the minds of many, but I'm back in the room, so hopefully that makes you laugh.
It made me laugh. It's got it burned on my mind. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Facebook user, we've got a wonderful supportive Facebook group, We Don't Die Listeners. Just type that in. We Don't Die is one of the radio shows that I have. We Don't Die Listeners. And that's a really good community of all kinds of people. And also if you have a parent, if you are a parent that has a child now in the unseen world, helpingparentsheal.org is a wonderful resource. But again, our home base is wedon'tdie.com. Everything there, you'll get a video replay if you can't join us live. It's so important to not be stuck alone within your own thoughts. Please be part of a community. Reach out. We are here for you. So thank you to Scott. Thank you to our friends in the unseen world. Thank you to you for being with us today. And I hope we see you next week. Bye for now.